Who's ready for the biggest fight of the year? That's right, UFC 317 is here, and we've got a main event that's straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, Ilia Topuria, the featherweight phenom who shocked the world by knocking out Alexander Volkanovski, and Max Holloway is now stepping up to lightweight. And he's not just chasing a belt, he's chasing history. Today, we're breaking down Topuria's triple threat, his explosive rise, his war with Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title and the looming shadow of Islam Makhachev. This isn't just a fight, it's a quest for three belts, and it's about to shake up the UFC like never before. Buckle up, because this is the story you don't want to miss. Let's rewind the clock and set the stage. Ilia Topuria wasn't always a household name. Born in Georgia and later representing Spain, Topuria walked into the UFC with a chip on his shoulder and a fire in his heart. He was the kind of fighter who never took a step back, who believed in himself even when others doubted. His early fights were a masterclass in determination, winning by submission, by knockout, by sheer force of will. But it was his victory over Alexander Volkanovski that changed everything. Volkanovski, the featherweight GOAT, had never been knocked out like that. The world watched in shock as Topuria's fist connected, and in that moment, a new champion was crowned. The crowd erupted. The commentators lost their voices, and Ilia Topuria stood tall, the new king of the featherweights. But for Topuria, this was only the beginning. In his own words, Topuria said, "I want more. I want to be the best in the world." And with that, he set his sights on an even bigger challenge. But before he could move up, there was business to settle. Max Holloway, the man with the legendary chin, stepped into the octagon to challenge Topuria. Holloway had never been knocked out, and fans wondered, could Topuria do the impossible again? The fight was electric. Holloway's relentless pressure met Topuria's precision, striking. For 2 rounds, it was a war, and then in the third, Topuria landed a punch that sent shockwaves through the MMA world. Holloway went down, and Topuria had done it again. With 2 knockout wins over 2 of the greatest featherweights of all time, Topuria had nothing left to prove at 145 pounds. So he made a bold decision. He vacated the featherweight title and announced his move to lightweight. Now let's talk about the man standing in Topuria's way. Charles "Du Bronx" Oliveira, with the most submissions in UFC history. Oliveira is a living legend. His journey from the favelas of Brazil to the top of the UFC is the stuff of fairy tales. He's been counted out, written off, and doubted at every turn, but he's always come back stronger. Oliveira's style is a nightmare for anyone. He's got world-class jiu-jitsu, unbreakable heart, and the experience of a former champion. And now with the lightweight title up for grabs, Oliveira is ready to prove he's still the king. Oliveira has one message for Topuria. "This belt is mine. I've been here before, and I know what it takes to win." But Topuria isn't backing down. He's ready for war. But here's where the story gets even bigger. This isn't just about Topuria and Oliveira. There's a third player in this game, Islam Makhachev, the pound-for-pound king, the man who dominated Oliveira and Volkanovski, is now chasing welterweight gold. But everyone knows he's coming back to lightweight, and when he does, he'll be gunning for the winner of UFC 317. Imagine this. Topuria beats Oliveira, becomes a 2-division champ, and then faces Makhachev in the biggest super fight in UFC history. 3 belts, 3 legends, 1 epic showdown. All right, let's break down the main event. Topuria versus Oliveira, striker versus grappler, youth versus experience. Topuria's strengths: lightning-fast hands, knockout power, and the confidence of a champion. Oliveira's strengths: world-class jiu-jitsu, unbreakable heart, and the experience of a former champ. The big question: can Topuria keep the fight standing and land that killer punch? Or will Oliveira drag him into deep waters and tap him out? This is the ultimate clash of styles, and the stakes couldn't be higher. But let's not forget the winner of UFC 317 is stepping into the lion's den. Islam Makhachev is waiting, and he's not the kind of guy who loses often. If Topuria wins, we could be looking at a super fight for the ages. If Oliveira wins, he'll have to prove he's still the best lightweight in the world. Either way, the lightweight division is about to explode. The MMA world is buzzing. Fans are split. Some say Topuria's power is too much. Others swear by Oliveira's ground game. On social media, everyone's picking sides, and the hype is real. One thing's for sure, this is the fight everyone's talking about. The experts are divided, the fans are fired up, and the stakes have never been higher. Only a handful of fighters have held UFC titles in 2 weight classes. If Topuria does it, he'll join an elite club. And if he beats Makhachev, he'll be a legend. This isn't just about belts, it's about legacy. It's about proving you're the best in the world. Let's take a moment to talk about what it takes to be a champion. Topuria, Oliveira, and Makhachev. all share one thing, an unbreakable mindset. They've faced adversity, doubt, and setbacks, but they've never given up. Topuria says, I believe in myself. I know what I'm capable of. Oliveira says, I've been through hell and I'm still here. Makhachev says, I'm ready for anyone anytime. These are the words of true champions. No matter who wins, at UFC 317, the lightweight division is entering a new era. With Topuria, Oliveira, and Makhachev all in the mix, the future is bright. Fans can look forward to more epic fights, more unforgettable moments, and more history being made. So what's going to happen at UFC 317? Here's my take. Topuria's got the momentum, but Oliveira's got the heart. It's going to be a war and anything can happen. But one thing's for sure, whoever wins the real winner is the fans. Because this is the kind of fight that makes MMA the greatest sport in the world. And that's the story of Topuria's triple threat, a journey from underdog to legend. With the biggest names in MMA standing in his way, UFC 317 is going to be unforgettable. And the future of the lightweight division has never looked more exciting. So who do you think wins? Drop your predictions in the comments, smash that like button, and hit subscribe so you don't miss a second of the action. Until next time, keep your gloves up and your dreams bigger than ever.